What's up, everybody? It's me, Aaron P., and this is another episode of Stupid Movie Tuesday, where I talk about movies, give them my honest reviews, and tell you guys whether or not you should guys go see them or not. But yeah, so let's go ahead and just get this one over with. I had to start this show off with something that would make me happy, so I played the Wonder Woman theme. Because I refuse to play that horrible cover of Come Together. I don't even like the Beatles, but god damn, they deserve better than that terrible fucking covers. But anyway, yeah, Justice League. Justice League just came out, and this movie has been through a lot. Like during the entire production of it, like changing hands, going from one screenwriter to another, going from one director, then doing a whole bunch of reshoots and rewrites. And this is just a movie that honestly didn't know what it wanted to be, and at the same time tried to be in this established universe that somehow forgot about itself. So but before we get into that, I do want to talk about the things that I liked about the movie. Because there were some things that I did like about it, and then we'll talk about a lot of problems that this movie had. Which this movie had a lot of problems. Like Batman vs. Superman was subtitled Dawn of Justice. This movie was called The Result of Our Issues. Jeez Louise, is this movie all the fuck over the place. But before we get into that, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, listening, sharing with your friends, families, co-workers, and all that. You guys know how it goes by now. Thank you guys for sharing it with everybody. Thank you guys for listening and all that goodness. Also, if you didn't know, every Tuesday I am at Dave & Buster's in Hollywood, where I'm hosting Terrifically Tough Tuesday Trivia. Come on down, have fun. We got a couple more shows left throughout the year, and then we get started back again back in January. We take the last 2 weeks of December off just for, just so Lance and I can chill. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Come on down, trivia on Tuesday night. If you're listening to this on the day that this comes out, that'll be in a few hours at Dave & Buster's in Hollywood. We got drink specials, food specials, and all that stuff, and it's fun. So yeah, we got Zack Snyder's Justice League and Joss Whedon's reshoots, which some people thought that this is going to make the movie better. Guess what? They didn't. No, they really didn't, actually. So let's get started. Let's start with the stuff that I like. I do like that the cast really did come off like a team. That was kind of cool. And I mean the actors in this movie teamed up to just basically get the job done. I'm not saying that the characters they portrayed did the same thing, because there were some sloppy fucking moments in this. But the actors who acted in this movie, they acted. Just put it like that. I like that. I like that, there was light in this movie, because, a lot of these Zack Snyder movies with like superheroes and stuff are dark than a motherfucker. This movie, and I'll talk about this and the things that I don't like too, because this is something that I didn't like as well. Yes, they were daytime shots. What I didn't like, I'll talk about it now. What I didn't like about that was like this movie didn't have consistency on what time of day it is in separate shots of the scene. If you've seen this, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. When they bring... Oh, by the way, I'm talking spoilers in this fucking review. So if you didn't see this movie yet, go see it. If you don't care about spoilers, strap in, because this shit gets... boy, is it bad. When they bring Superman back to life, it's nighttime. And then all of a sudden it's daytime. Then it's nighttime, and then it's daytime. This shit really switches from like shot to shot. Like, this movie is horribly edited. And it's like, the movie starts with Batman stopping a robber. I don't even know if this dude was a robber or not. He looked like he was taking out some goddamn garbage. But apparently he was robbing somebody, because he did have a gun in his hand. He just got finished pulling off a heist, a one-man heist Batman pulls him out, starts fighting. Parademon comes out. He starts fighting the Parademon. They flying around the damn city. Then the Parademon, like, blows up. There's 3 squares. And somehow, after fighting and flying around for a little while, the same crook comes out and like, what the hell was that? I'm like, what just happened? Within 5 minutes of this movie, if I'm saying, what the fuck just happened, I know I'm in for a long fucking track through this shit. And, like, when I explain plot points in this movie, it's gonna sound like an 8-year-old is telling you this shit. But I assure you, this is what the fuck happened. Because the plot of this movie, if you watched it and had to explain it to somebody, you will sound like a little kid explaining a fucking movie to somebody. That's a huge, huge problem with this movie, is that this movie had no real plot. Like, I could not tell you what the fuck this movie was about at all. I can't tell you anyone's motivation for anything. It's just like, it was weird. And let's go into, like, some of the characters. Let's start. Let's start with the characters that we know, meaning that we've had full movies with these people. Let's start with Batman. Ben Affleck's Batman. Now, Ben Affleck basically was the best part about Batman versus Superman, besides Wonder Woman, who, you know, is a breath of fresh air. And her own movie was fucking awesome. I can't say enough about how awesome that movie was. But Batman, he went from grim, total, like, angry man all around from Batman versus Superman to, like, joking old man in this. He basically said, I'm getting too old for this. He pulled a Danny Glover in this movie. He said, I'm getting too old for this shit. He's joking around and stuff. And it's fine, but at the same time, it's like you just basically ignoring shit that you've already established in this universe, which, you know, again, it wasn't perfect at all, but at the same time, it's just like, you know, you can't do these complete about faces and not have people still not remember what you've given us for reference already. You know what I mean? Wonder Woman. Now, Patty Jenkins's Wonder Woman is fucking amazing. Zack Snyder has no idea what he wants to do with the Amazons. Well, actually, yeah, he does. Because, like, the Amazons in Patty Jenkins's version, they were, you know, just some tough ladies looking like they can kick some ass. Zack Snyder did exactly what I figured would do if a man was given that position, and was basically put a whole bunch of strong women in bikinis. You see a lot of Gal Gadot's ass in this movie. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm angry at that, but at the same time, that's not helping anything, you know? It's a lot of butt shots in this movie. And then when they go to Amazon, it's like they basically put these strong women in bikinis and stuff, in leather bikinis, and it's just like, and I got into it with somebody online about this. I had posted up a complaint about it, and he was like, oh no, well, you know, that's just an upgrade in the armor. Listen, if 1917 bullets can pierce Amazonian armor, making less armor isn't making them stronger at all. That makes absolutely no fucking sense. And they also have not established that Wonder Woman herself is bulletproof. So far, it's still been just her bracelets. Like in some comics, she's fully bulletproof, and others is just her bracelets. They still haven't established, you know, whether or not she's fully bulletproof. I know good and well the Amazons aren't. Now, Wonder Woman, she is a different kind of Amazon because she is the daughter of Zeus. Another plot point that was just, like, not needed for the movie. But, you know, whatever. Superman, who's apparently played by Cesar Romero in this movie, if you get that reference. He didn't have a lot to say, actually, when you watch the movie. He doesn't say it a lot at all. And I think a lot of that is because Henry Cavill can't do an American accent that well. Like most British actors, when they do American accents, they have to say one word at a time. So that way. And then they have to cut off the last word. And that, wait, what the fuck? And that, I just read, I got a pop-up that was just disturbing. But, yeah. so he didn't say much, and then he smiled, and then they CGI'd his whole mustache off, and along with his mouth, and it just looked really fucking weird. It's like this movie just looked bad, and it's a superhero movie, so there's gonna be CGI. This movie, it was like no one went back to look at this again and just render and just tighten up some shit. You know what I mean? Because the CGI in this movie it's horrible. Like, when it's good, it's okay, but it's totally noticeable. Like, there are parts with Cyborg's mask, it's like his like faceplate, it's like sliding around and stuff. It's kind of like in Captain America Civil War, where you can totally tell that Tony Stark's head is just floating around over a CGI suit. It's a lot like that, and it's just it looks, but it's really, really noticeable, and it's really, really bad. And it's really distracting. You know, it distracted me from because I wanted to enjoy this movie. I really did, and all the flaws on it were distracting as hell and kept me from enjoying this shit. Yeah, so that was another part that it just took away from this movie, especially since it really had no real storyline. There are some characters who would have benefited from having a movie before this one came out, or at least a little bit more explanation into who they are, because they kept talking about shit that if you did not read the fucking comic books beforehand, and I mean series of comics beforehand, you would know what the fuck was going on. And that brings me to Aquaman and the Flash. Apparently Aquaman can't speak underwater in this. They kind of shot themselves in the foot and established that Aquaman can't talk underwater, which is really fucked up since he's half Atlantean